Hi there, Cancer. I hope you guys are doing really well. This is a Celtic cross reading for you. I'm going to read it as general, and then I will read it as love energy or relationship energy. So please feel free to stick around through the whole thing, just so you know maybe there are certain information pieces that might be helpful to you along the way. This is for Sun, Moon, Rising. And this is, I want to say, a timeless reading, because whenever you find readings, they are ready for you should they resonate. So Cancer, it feels here in your current position, Cancer, it feels like you may be needing to release some resistance to things right now, or maybe be a little bit more flexible. You have the Seven of Wands in reverse. This is about like basically like bringing down rigid boundaries, or, you know, maybe things that we were very fixed on believing in the past, or our like direction. Maybe we need to look at it from a different angle so that we can have a fresher view, a more abundant view, so we're not as limited and rigid. Sometimes it can also talk about like letting down your guard, okay? And it is clarified by the Sun, so it's like sometimes that has to happen when we need to let happiness into our lives, or when we need to bring back a certain sense of upliftment here for your energy. As far as like the challenges or potentials even, you can see this is the Five of Pentacles, and it's clarified by the Queen of Pentacles here. So this energy, Cancer, is one of, the Five of Pentacles, it's a poverty mindset. It's an energy of lack. It can say that, you know, the way that you're thinking about things, you're unable to receive the better things in life, or maybe you aren't paying attention to the types of resources that you have in your life. This is asking for you to, with her, the Queen of Pentacles, is asking for you to have patience with yourself. And if you're having anxiety about money, or about support, or about any type of like resource issues in your life at this time, it's saying to have patience with yourself and try to decrease your anxieties about certain things, just because it's asking for you to be available to the change that can happen here with the Sun. This is an illumination energy. It's a decrease of depression, you know, so it feels like when you're allowing things to move with a little bit more of a free-flowing attitude, and more of like an acceptance energy in how things can come into your life, you have a better chance to achieve this Queen of Pentacles status. This is very proud of what they create, but also they make something out of nothing. They are the nurturer. They are the creatrix. They are somebody who is not worried about, you know, rolling up their sleeves and getting their hands dirty, but they will focus their energy on the things that actually bring them security in their life, you know, security for their home, their family, their health. You know, this is a very positive energy for health. So if this has been an issue for you, I would say be mindful of the opportunities and resources and potentially other avenues that you might take to be able to help yourself get out of this energy, just because there is a lot of change that can happen here for you in a positive light. With this energy here at the basically what the root of this reading is, like what you can focus on in this reading. You have the Knight of Wands here with the Nine of Wands. Okay, so with this energy, Cancer, I feel like there's also an element here of seeking more excitement in your life, doing things that are going to break up monotony, doing things that are a little bit more explorative in your life, and it may be that you've been very restricted in how you view that or what you allow yourself to do. I will say here at the bottom of the deck, you do have, which kind of like overshadows everything. It gives a flavor to this reading. You have the Seven of Swords with the Ace of Cups. So, you know, Ace of Cups, yes, it can be a talk of love and a communication in that regard, but it also, or an opportunity to grow love, but it's also an energy of growing love for yourself, having a well of creativity, having a well of spiritual knowledge that you can be part of, that can fill your life with emotional satisfaction. What are you doing in your life that is emotionally satisfying? With the Seven of Swords, it can talk about where you have the opportunity to rob yourself of those opportunities, or you don't see them for what they are, or maybe you've been slow to see them. Sometimes we protect ourselves in ways that restrict ourselves so much that we don't allow things in. And it's asking for you to reconnect with a spiritual path or an emotionally satisfying path, a creative path, something that brings you joy, something that brings you life and intention that you can put your energy towards. Okay. But yeah, get out and do different things. Get out and shake it up a little bit, you know. Maybe even like stand up to your own like limited beliefs and patterns in that regard. That might be really helpful for you. You know, it's important to do that sometimes, because we can sometimes get in our own way of living life to the fullest. Okay. So that is kind of at the root of your reading, the essence in here. In your past energy of the Queen of Wands and the Strength card being clarified by that. This is a really beautiful energy, just because it says somewhere in your past you've been able to be more confident, or maybe you were more confident, but you know, it's asking for you to take more action in your life right now, because so much of this is an energy of inaction or stagnancy, or not feeling like we have enough or even enough physical energy to do things. And so maybe you're wanting to recover your physical health, you know, that might be something that is here for you as well. Either way though, it's asking for you to move forward again towards things that lead you to a better sense of confidence and self-exploration, I want to say. Just because when we're in that vibrant energy with the Queen of Wands, it's through learned behavior. It's through going through the gamut of extremes and energies to find that confidence within the mishaps and the mistakes of it all, you know? So it's like, it's asking for you to become more vibrant in your life again. I say again because it's in your past influence energy. This is all about self-improvement here, okay? It's about having patience with the process, especially if you were very, very, I'd say, healthy at one point, and then you kind of got knocked down, or maybe health has been an issue. Or say you had your own business and you were very, very productive in the past, and then things took a little bit of a turn. It's asking for you to be available for change and to be slow in the process of regaining your energy, your strength, your vitality, and your direction here. It's asking for you to not like get mad at yourself, or, you know, be upset with the progress that you have either, quote unquote, I guess, feel like you've lost, or feel like you haven't been able to achieve or attain again. Okay, this is having patience with yourself and not berating yourself, not talking down to yourself because you feel like you're not moving fast enough. Okay. In the energy here, with your strengths, your present energy, but these are also strengths to, like, you know, pull upon here too. You have the Eight of Swords in reverse. You also have the Nine of Pentacles clarifying that Eight of Swords in reverse. This is looking at everything right now. The way that you can help this is to look at everything right now within a lens of honesty, a lens of pardon me, a lens of truth and honesty, so you can have clarity in how you're viewing everything at this time. It's not about getting locked up in your head and freaking out about the ins and outs of how things are going to move along. It's about getting out of the restrictive thinking and the fear behind things, so you can make informed decisions, proactive decisions, so you can have a better sense of peace within yourself, so your mind isn't like churning all the time, you know? And the nice thing about this too, with the Nine of Pentacles being the clarifier, is it's like we sometimes get in our own way. The Nine of Pentacles is all about like self-improvement. This is about like spending your time focusing on the things that actually bring you security and stability in your life, whether that be money, health, resource, whether that be the people in your life, how you give back to people. Do you feel drained? You know, this energy here though is asking for you to bring yourself back into focus in regard to what you want to put your energy towards, because right now that can be a very strong part in your life that can create a lot of change and movement. Okay. Especially if you've been kind of like not giving yourself opportunities to be nourished in your inner world, okay? And I do want to say too, I pulled 2 oracle cards here. You have exchanging gifts and judgment. It feels like there's a lot of self-judgment and self-blame here, Cancer. It feels like your direction and path has been kind of like put on a certain level of a halt at this point, just because of the way that we're seeing things. And I feel here that it's important to not blame ourselves or find fault with ourselves or be guilty about not moving in a progressive way. Sometimes we need that time alone. Sometimes we need that time away from things. We need that lull and that space to kind of be present with ourselves so we can have clarity in what we actually need to move forward, right? And with exchanging gifts, this can talk about receiving things from the universe, the little gifts in life, the things that you want to accept into your life, you know, the things that you want to give out to life and to others. You know, not everything is, you know, bought at the store and wrapped up in a package and like given out as a gift. We also have gifts within us. What aspect of yourself might be considered a gift that you can give to people in your life, you know, to children, to animals? Where can you be kind and creative? Where can you be available to help other people? That your time is a gift, your thought process is a gift. How can you be effective for those in your life and who you share space with, you know, and especially what you give back to yourself. With judgment here again, if we're turning this in on ourselves in a general energy, this is asking us to be more free with that acceptance to give and to receive. Let the universe give you energy to receive or give you the foresight to receive the energy that's being presented to you in life. You know, sometimes we have to look at even the smallest, most minute things as gifts. Sometimes discomfort and agony and frustration and setbacks are gifts because they change our perspective, right? And perception on situations. They give you a clearer sense of understanding things here with that 7 of Swords. Maybe you've outwitted yourself, or maybe you need to think a little bit more broadly when it comes to how you make yourself available for the things that life has for you. Just because with this obstacle energy as the 5 of Pentacles, it can talk about not trusting what is for us, not trusting what is available to us. It's a sense of lack mentality. It's a sense of, I don't have this, I don't have that, I'm not as healthy as I used to be, I'm not. You know, you have to be careful about that, Cancer, and not take it out on yourself here. With your near future energy, your future energy here, you have the Page of Pentacles in reverse here with the Judgment card. So it's interesting just because the Page of Pentacles, it can talk about, in reverse, it talks about a loss of passion. It talks about not feeling like maybe a thing that you've been involved in for so long, or like a intentional endeavor that you've been involved in, school of thought, you know, education, some sort of like personal practice that may have brought you joy in the past that you made it a passion of yours. It's no longer bringing that passion. It's no longer bringing the satisfaction. It's no longer fulfilling you here with the Page of Pentacles in reverse. And so it's asking for you to reevaluate how you're addressing things. It's asking for you to reevaluate your process and maybe what was a labor of love, what was something that you dedicated your time to. See how you can address it here, because we do have Judgment twice. Okay, Judgment in the tarot and then Judgment in an oracle card. So this Judgment energy is asking for you to make a clear understanding of what is important to you, what makes sense for you. You know, this is really cutting through the fat and getting rid of like the Eight of Swords energy, like that mindset where we're not clear in how we're viewing things. Okay, so what can you do to reestablish your energy with yourself? What can you do to make the things that you once thought were fun again? You know, the things that you've trudged through with your education and your time, how can you reinstill any type of like vibrancy and attractiveness to that? Just because for this to be your future energy, it's telling me that like you're going to continue to try and be on a path, but still be dissatisfied in the way that you're operating it. And so it's asking for you to make sure that you're available to the change. Allow that sun to illuminate situations for yourself that you can actually, so you can have a better experience in that. And so that you can regain the love of it. You can reclaim the energy that you once had for it, so it can be robust again, so that you can enjoy it again, right? With your energy as far as like approach, this can also be sometimes how you see things in your mind, but like we're going to say approach here. You have the Page of Pentacles here, and it comes with the Magician, or I'm sorry, the Chariot. Magician's up here. The Chariot is here. So with the Page of Cups, it's interesting just because it's like, if we're talking about an approach, it's asking for you to remain in a creative mindset. You know, it's like, how have things kind of been derailed? Are you interested in what you've been involved in anymore? Are you interested in the experience anymore? Where does it seem dull? Where does it seem like it's lacking? You know, is it enjoyable? You know, maybe this is an opportunity to like reestablish certain levels of playtime in ourselves, or like where we want to reinvigorate an energy through expression, play, creativity, exploration in that regard. It's asking for us to be available to be emotionally compassionate for ourselves rather than tear ourselves down, so that we can be open to the change that comes through. This is an energy with the Page of Cups is like, it's a card of like emotional intelligence and expression. So maybe we need to bring more creativity, you know, to this. Maybe we need to like breathe a different light into it, so that we can have forward movement in a more interested way. With the Chariot, this is also asking for us to be available to change, but that change comes through a decision. The decision is yours, how you want to wield this, how you want to work this, how you want to make it happen. But the Chariot here also talks about like where things, before the decision is made, it's kind of stagnant. It's not moving. It's just kind of like being in a lull, being in a state of stagnancy. So when we utilize that Chariot energy for the best of its abilities, things start to move. Things start to get in focus and in balance. Things start to be present for you to take advantage of and harness that energy for yourself, Cancer. And this is also your energy. So here also too, I feel that there's a necessity for emotional health as well, and emotional clearing, addressing things from our past that keep us stuck, so that we're able to emotionally address opportunities in a better and more open way, okay? Here, as far as like the energy of like what you need to know, what's coming toward you energy, this is Ace of Cups in reverse with the Magician. So with the Ace of Cups in reverse, this is kind of like, it kind of shows me a little bit more of the energy that we've been dealing with here, where it's like, you haven't been satisfied. The energy of like spirituality or creativity, that deep well that you once drew from has been, you know, it's poured out. It needs to be replenished. It needs to be full. And with, pardon me, the Magician clarifying this energy, Cancer, it's saying your thinking is going to be very instrumentative in how this situation changes for you, because when we think, it's like our manifestations are a direct product of our thinking, our thought process, what we put our energy towards, okay? You know, with this Five of Pentacles as well, this is all about like, it can talk about like the energy that we put forth towards something which is limited, it creates more limitations, right? When we have that Queen of Pentacles energy, it's saying, trust the process, have patience in the process, and allow growth to happen where it can. Ease your energies, ease your anxiety, and just focus on one thing at a time to make a better, progress, right? So with the Magician, it's asking for you to be available in how you view things here, Cancer. How have you, sorry, I've got cat hair in my mouth. How have you been available to, oh my God. How have you been available to give yourself back that energy, right? What are you doing to bring yourself joy? What are you doing to manifest joy in your world right now, especially if you feel emotionally tapped, spent, psychically spent? spiritually drained. Like, what can you do in your life to reestablish that pattern of replenished goodness and positive things coming in, rather than like feeling overwhelmed, right? How can you make these things happen? What process in your thinking can be better about that? Okay, so moving forward here, like your hopes and fears energy, you have the Queen of Swords here being clarified by the Two of Pentacles. This is an interesting energy just because, like, how I was saying, feeling like our vitality may have drifted a little bit, feeling like our position as a person may have dwindled or, you know, decreased a little bit through our energy. It's asking for us to reclaim the energy of being a strong person, being somebody that is forward thinking, being somebody that stands up for yourself and is that available to the transformation in your life that is coming into your life, you know, that you create in your life. And with the Two of Pentacles being present, you know, this is with the Queen of Swords as well, though. This is also a mindset here. And we were talking about mindsets with the Magician here. So this can talk about like going from the victim to the victor. It's like that kind of victim mentality. It's going from victimhood to victor. It's like solving your problems through better thinking, addressing things in a different way. It's like having success and progress in that regard for you, Cancer. And so you need to take authority in your life to create that to happen. You need to be authoritative in how you allow others into your life so that you're not depleted for yourself. You know, here though, I feel that it's asking for you to be more flexible in how you regain that vitality, how you see yourself, your situations in life, right? Like, we can be the victim, or we can be somebody that like looks at things through a different lens so that we can have a better outcome, right? We can have a different outcome because we allow ourselves to do that. Our thinking plays a huge role in how we show up in our lives and what we allow into our lives. So it's asking for you to be clear in your mind, be available to change and transformation, and, you know, bend like a reed in the wind. Be available to, you know, flexibility in your experiences, because it feels like you may have to juggle your energy in the world right now with how you solidify your own personal state of well-being and presence. And then the outcome energy, you have the Seven of Pentacles in reverse with the Four of Cups. So this is an interesting energy, Cancer, just because it's with the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. It can talk a lot about like situations or things, financial as well, most definitely. But situations where it's like you've been doing something for so long in the same ways and it hasn't given you the results that you went after. And that's been a consistent thing. It's like, I am not doing something right here. Something isn't happening because I'm not doing it right. And I feel that that's where that judgment comes in. Maybe address the different aspects in yourself or your life where things may be also depleting you, so you're not available to doing things the way that they were done. And maybe the way that they were done need to be revamped. Either way, the Seven of Pentacles here says, I'm not doing this way anymore. In fact, I'm dropping this like a hot potato so that I can put my energy into it in a different way, or completely move on from this aspect so I can do something entirely different, okay? And with the Four of Cups clarifying it, it says, you know, we do have this energy of like potential boredom, maybe the zip and the zap, the pizzazz and zeal has gotten out of a situation. It's no longer exciting. Maybe that's time to just put it to rest. Here though, with the Four of Cups, it's saying a card of rejection. You know, it's an energy of rejection. So whatever you've been doing here, this energy is saying, take some time, but also look at this through a lens of truth so you're not in your head, and make your better decisions from that point. But it looks like you are changing something by letting something go. I'm going to pause this so I can get some water because my mouth feels very dry. All right, Cancer, thank you for your patience. So in regard to love, we're going to be switching over to love and relationship energies here for you, okay? So in this energy here with the Seven of Wands reversed and then the Sun here, I do want to say, because we have the Seven of Swords here at the bottom of the deck and the Ace of Cups, this energy, I feel here, Cancer, for some of you, you may be dealing with a person who could, let me just say the name or the signs on the table so far. We have Cancer, we have Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, Leo again, Leo 3 times actually, possibly 4, Scorpio, Virgo, Cancer. We have water signs, but younger, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Either way, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn energy. Either way, though, those are just some of the breakdowns on the people here, potentially. With this energy, though, I do want to say some of you may be needing to go cautiously towards something with a person, just because I feel like you may be letting your guard down here, and there may be some uncertainty in what comes with the type of connection that you're getting here with this person, what is actually being presented here rather than what it seems, right? So here it almost feels like some of you Cancerians have maybe been in a position of like, nothing's gonna happen for me, you know, I'm unlucky in love, like things don't shape up, you know, things don't happen. Sometimes that's actually really good because it can weed out certain people in your life, you know, and I feel here that may be something to pay attention to. I do want to say with exchanging gifts here, in a protection sense, this card can talk about, be careful of the things that you like wish for. Be careful of the prayers of, I just want somebody to come into my life and, you know, da-da-da-da-da. Because that can happen with the Magician here. But even with that, and the Magician being with the Ace of Cups in reverse, like what does that actually bring? You know, there it doesn't bring much. More confusion than anything. But here with the Five of Pentacles here and the Queen of Pentacles, it's asking for you to have patience in the process of love. It's asking for you to be available in making yourself a better person before rushing into certain things, right? Especially when it comes to your resources. And that it doesn't just have to mean financial. It can mean your own personal sense of availability in life, your mental health, your hygiene, your mental hygiene, you know, your emotional well-being. Like all of those things play a huge factor in how we show up in relationships. So if you're from the Five of Pentacles to the Queen of Pentacles, that's a huge jump, right? Like we don't want to be in the mindset of just give me what I can get so I can have something. That's not really receiving. That's just accepting whatever's out there. And here I feel with the Seven of Wands and the Sun, it's like you may be letting your guard down, but also you might not feel while you're doing that, letting your guard down. It's like the mindset that you're in is attracting in more lack, or I'm an outsider, nobody ever cares about me, like, you know, people don't think of me as important, you know, so what does that do with this Magician energy? It perpetuates that, it brings that into your life because that's the narrative you're giving. Be careful about that. Either way, though, it feels here that you need to be slow in the process here. Rather than thinking that way, we need to get to the point in our lives where we're available to have situations that are very real and very genuine. They're worth having the time, taking the time to experience here. Some of you may be dealing with an earth sign person that shows up in a position of wanting so much more, wanting the whole thing with you, wanting. And, you know, maybe they haven't really shown you that they're available to do that. Actions speak louder than words in so many ways, right? So we have to like watch people's actions, especially if they themselves are coming from a sense of poverty mindset or lack mentality, okay? It feels here that you're going to be illuminated to something in somebody's behavior. With the Knight of Wands here and the Nine of Wands, as well as like, you know, what you may need to focus on now in this particular situation with a person. The Knight of Wands is flighty. The Knight of Wands is fun, but they're not in it for the long haul. And we might be having, as this Queen is the Queen of Pentacles, disregard gender, but this is the obstacle energy, right? So if we have somebody showing up with a sense of lack mentality, but also presenting as something that they want more, they want it all with us. So, you know, it's going to get better when we get together, you know, and like solidify this. It's like, well, there are a lot of steps on the road and the path to actually getting to that solidification or solidified point. Solidification, I don't even know if that's a word. Solidified point that we can't just like jump from A to Z. We have to go through that alphabet, you know? So here it's almost as if like we have somebody that's either trying to rush a situation or jump into a situation really quickly. And it's asking for you to be very mindful on what you allow and how much of yourself you allow in that situation to, I'm hearing pretend. So be mindful of that, okay? It's asking for you to protect yourself here with the 9 of Wands, right? It's asking for you to stand up for yourself, you know, stand up to people, and create boundaries so that you can experience something in a better and more proactive and healthier way, something that's more stable, right? Knight of Wands, he's not stable. He's in it for a good time. He's in it for the moment, and he's very malleable. He changes his position quickly and frequently, you know. This is an impulsive energy here, Cancer. So, with moving forward here, your past energy here, you have the Queen of Wands and the Strength card. Again, some of you, I almost want to talk about aging. Some of you, as we age, we feel like we're less inclined to receive love, or we feel like we don't deserve love, or, you know, our bodies are failing us. Here again comes this energetic like theme of health and wanting to regain health, vitality, sexuality, all of that kind of stuff. It's asking for us to be patient in how much of ourselves we potentially give to somebody here. It's asking ourselves to be mindful of maybe in the past we've jumped into situations because it's been highly attractive to us, or we've been highly attractive to others, but it's also saying pump the brakes, because when we jump into something, it doesn't really lead to very good things. It leads to confusion, okay? And it leads to a lot of hurt if we do that. So just be mindful in how you operate, because here, yeah, you may be highly attractive, or like maybe your direction in the past was to like just kind of sleep with people or whatever. It's asking for you to put the brakes on as well. It's asking for you with the Strength card to see this as an opportunity for self-improvement before you jump in, right? It's like taming the impulse. So just go slowly. You know, it's like remember yourself before you jump into something here, but put the brakes on here. In this, you know, the strengths that you bring to this situation or to yourself in this situation, you have those 8 of Swords in reverse here with the 9 of Pentacles. So this again is saying, look at the situation through a lens of honesty, Cancer. What is best for you? Is this going to drain your resources? Is the situation being approached by somebody because they want that Queen of Pentacles energy? They want that stability, but they don't have it. So they're going to rely on your energy, your stability, your foundation, the resources that you have, that you bring to the table. It's saying, have a very clear view of what this person presents and look at the state of their life where they are. You know, if you've spent some time with this person, you'll know a lot of ins and outs of where they're at in their life, you know, and how people live their life, you know, will be how they live their life with you. But it depends on how much of yourself you're willing to give, how much energy you're willing to give, how much gift giving, how much expenditure of your time, energy, wealth, resources, physical vitality, emotions, all of that energy, it's resource. How much are you willing to give somebody of yourself here? So as of right now, it is very important that you pay attention to where this person is coming from within their life and how they're approaching here, because it feels like you've got somebody that's trying to speed things up in a way so they can attain a certain type of lifestyle or attain a certain type of like, they can get something from you and like not do it for themselves. You know, it's a manipulative energy, and it feels a little manipulative, or it feels a little like it's trying to force a situation to come together, okay? In the near future energy, you have the Page of Pentacles in reverse, and that is also clarified by Judgment. So as a person, the Page of Pentacles in reverse can talk about somebody who gives you a lot of attention and then withdraws it. They don't have the staying power. They're immature as a person. If this is an adult, it's a younger adult. Or if they're in their 40s or 50s, they present as a younger minded person. They may not be somebody that has much in regard to money and status and, you know, job history or a job at all. You know, it's like this is somebody that, you know, when it all comes down to it, this person actually doesn't really have a lot to give. They have a lot that they want, but it's asking for you to put the brakes on here, get illuminated about who this person is so that you can have a better understanding of what this person actually presents in your life, Cancer, so that you can make a better informed judgment call on this situation. I feel like you probably have an understanding of who this person is, but we have judgment here twice, especially with this exchanging gifts when it comes to the reciprocity of situations. How much do you give and what do you give of yourself? And then look at that person. How much do they give and what type of energy do they give of themselves? It's very important to pay attention to that so that you don't run into something that you're going to be scrambling to get out of later. Here with, you know, the approach to the situation that you can take, we have the Page of Cups with the Chariot here. I feel that this energy being presented here, Cancer, it's okay to talk to somebody. It's okay to build connection here. This is asking to take things slowly and have a understanding of, you know, like having an understanding of somebody's emotional intelligence before you decide to make big decisions with somebody, right? It's asking for you to be able to express your feelings, express your emotions, express your sensitivity with one another, and to know where they're coming from before you decide to make a big decision here. Because it feels like in a lot of ways, Cancer, you may be deciding to try to move this forward regardless of what the red flags might be. It feels like you might be trying to make a big decision. So maybe it almost feels like there's some aspect of this person's life that is lacking or they need help. And it's like, well, I can take that on for them. I can make that happen. Be mindful of that, Cancer. It needs for you to be available to put yourself first before you make a big decision like that. Okay. I also do want to say for some of you, if this is a matter of distance, it's asking for you to be mindful of the distance as well. Okay. With what you need to know here, what's coming for you, what you don't see here, you have that Ace of Cups in reverse and the Magician. So again, this is kind of a nod to what I had kind of like pointed out earlier. What does this bring? We have a situation where it's like we have somebody that wants to move forward, you know, almost force something open, force something together. But what does it come with? The Ace of Cups. You know, it comes with a hollow opportunity. It comes with something where it's like, we can't really build upon that. You know, you can't really build upon feelings. We have this youthful energy here. You know, of people here, we have two pages. One's in reverse, one is emotional. And then we have a very quick acting, impulsive Knight of Wands. There's no kings here. There's no kings here. We have two queens, but there's no kings here. And so it's your job to be mindful of what is being said here, because we have this Seven of Swords here as the underlying energy for this whole reading, Cancer, and then we have it with the Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups is reversed here. So when we have this, it's almost as if like what they're bringing to the table is not stable. It's got undercurrents of deception. It has undercurrents of trying to get what they want and manipulating a situation. And I feel like this energy can actually be very problematic for you moving forward if you are to decide to move forward here. And it looks like you're trying to do that. You know, it looks like we really need to pay attention to red flags before we take any type of like true step here, because it looks like what's coming towards you is somebody that's trying to push this forward. It's an agenda that they have. Doesn't mean they don't love you, but also too, you know, I'm not trying to say like this person is bad and they're evil and they have like this horrible agenda and they're going to steal from you. That's not what I'm saying. But sometimes we look at people with, you know, a view of, oh, well, I could do better if I were with them. You know, it would be so much easier if I were with them. Oftentimes we don't think of how we show up in a situation, it's like, oh, things would be better if I were with them. Well, you know, you got to be mindful of who you're allowing into your life, right? With hopes and fears, the Queen of Swords here upright, being clarified by the Two of Pentacles, Cancer, it's saying, hold up. It's saying, you know, be very strong in the way that you view your autonomy right now. I really am suggesting that you look through this situation through a sense of personal authority rather than trying to commingle with somebody and add them to create a certain addition into your life. Or even if you're with this person, it's asking for you to pull back so that you have your own mental space that isn't entwined and entangled with somebody, so that you can make a clear decision here. If we are dealing with somebody, there may be some element of uncertainty with this person, you know. It's kind of one of those things like, let's just go with the flow. I wouldn't want to be with somebody that said, let's just go with the flow, because I know what that means. I know that means it's non-committal. It's kind of up in the air. Are we anything, or are we just kind of like fiddle-faddling ourselves and each other, you know? Like, what are we doing here? So it's asking for you to kind of, you know, put a very, very clear, put out very clear communication to this person before you are blindsided by instability, the instability of another, right? Okay. So, with your outcome here, Cancer, I do feel that there's an energy of, you may feel guilty if you need to drop something. I do feel, though, that there's an element of really needing to assess a situation before you endeavor it anymore, especially like with the Seven of Pentacles in reverse, because it says, I've done this before in different aspects at different times in my life with different people, and it didn't really get me anything. It didn't get me anywhere. And now I feel like this onslaught of energy to move forward in a very quick way, to satisfy this person's needs, to make things happen very quickly, to have it come together, you know, all this stuff. And it's like, who's being saddled with like the burdens? It's going to be you. So be mindful about how much you give to a situation, Cancer, because it will bite you in the butt, especially if it's non-reciprocal. The Seven of Pentacles also shows up like when situations do not give back to us the way we've given to them. It's saying, I'm not receiving what I need from this, so I can't do it the same way because it just isn't working, right? So you need to be very clear-headed about that. You need to be mindful about that. And maybe it is a time to say no. With the Four of Cups clarifying this energy, it's saying, I choose to forfeit. I choose to reject this. I choose to let this go. So I'm going to go ahead and pull some energy for advice here for Cancer, please. You have Justice coming out here, Cancer. This is the Justice card. One more. Justice and the Wheel of Fortune here. So this energy is talking about situations where it's like we are needing to be very careful in what we involve ourselves in. Because with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, it's almost as if like we aren't learning the lessons. We're just trying to move forward and make things happen. But then we also receive the same BS that we've dealt with in the past. It's not growing. It's not progressing. It's denying opportunities where we could have that growth because we're not judging a situation clearly. If anything, this is saying take your time. This is at the bottom of the deck. Take your time and get to know somebody. Get to know who they are. And even under that, and protect yourself. Take time, have patience getting to know somebody, because when you do, it feels like there may be some things that you're not seeing with this person here, Cancer. And this is your card. Pisces also, well, mainly Pisces, but I feel as a reader, it's your card. I feel that there may be something a little bit deeper that you're not seeing with somebody, and it could be through addiction, it could be through emotional instability, it could be through somebody who doesn't have clarity on who they are. And when you involve yourself in somebody, in a situation with somebody like that, it almost repeats certain situations in your past where you don't receive what you want from a thing. And it's also it tears you down just because you have to provide so much for somebody, where if somebody is going to show up in your life, they need to be providing that for themselves so you're not drained. So that is what I have for you guys. I hope that this was helpful. Feel free to like, share, subscribe. In fact, do like it if it was helpful. I appreciate it. Comment, share. If you want a personal reading, you can contact me at thealtruisticmystic@gmail.com. All of that information is in the description box below. I love you. Bye.